Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're going to be talking about something that can really elevate your home decor. I'm talking about luxurious rugs.
Ooh, yes. Rugs can absolutely make a space.
Yeah, for sure. And today we're diving into a collection that has really caught my eye. It's the Ascot collection from Asiatic Carpets.
Oh, Asiatic Carpets. They've been around forever, right?
They have since 1960. Actually, they started as a small family business in London, focusing on Oriental carpets.
And now.
Well, they've kind of become pioneers in the modern rug market. I mean, you see their rugs everywhere these days.
Yeah, I can definitely see what, they're gorgeous. Their designs are so unique.
I know, right? The Ascot collection is a perfect example of their signature style. So for our listeners who maybe aren't familiar with it, how would you describe the overall feel of this collection?
I'd say it's very sophisticated, but also approachable.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel stuffy or intimidating. It's got a modern aesthetic.
I like that. Approachable sophistication.
Exactly. And the colors are amazing, rich but nuanced. And the materials, top notch. You just want to sink your toes right in.
Okay, so now I'm really intrigued. Tell me more about the specific rugs in this collection.
All right, so the Ascot collection features three distinct rugs: the Ascot Silver, the Ascot Green, and the Ascot Sand.
And each one has its own unique personality, I bet.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Let's start with the Ascot Silver. What makes it so special?
The Ascot Silver is all about that minimalist elegance. It comes in this beautiful, refined silver gray tone.
Silver gray. That sounds pretty versatile.
Oh, it is. It can really fit into any kind of interior style.
So you could pair it with like bold colors and it wouldn't clash.
Exactly. It acts as a neutral backdrop, but it's not boring at all. There are these subtle accents of lighter and darker shades woven in, so it's got depth and dimension.
Ooh, I love those little details that you don't notice right away, but they really add something special.
Right. It's all about those details.
Okay, so the Ascot Silver is like the understated, elegant one. What about the Ascot Green? Green can be tricky in interiors, though, right?
It can be, but this one is special. It's a rich olive green.
Olive green. Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds a bit more manageable.
Yeah, it's not too bright or overwhelming, and it has this really striking geometric pattern.
Geometric patterns are so in right now. I've been seeing them everywhere.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely having a moment. And this one is a really cool contemporary take on a classic trellis design.
I'm picturing it now, and it looks super plush in the photos. What's it made of?
It's a blend of wool and viscose.
Oh, wool and viscose. I haven't seen that combination before.
It's amazing. The wool gives it durability and warmth.
Of course, wool is always a classic choice for rugs.
And the viscose adds this incredible softness and a subtle sheen. It feels so luxurious underfoot.
So it's like the best of both worlds.
Exactly.
Now, we've talked about the sleek and elegant silver and the nature-inspired green. What about the Ascot Sand? What vibe does that one give off?
The Ascot Sand is all about warmth and coziness. It features these gorgeous, warm beige and taupe tones.
So it's like a neutral, but a warm neutral.
Yes, exactly. It creates a really inviting atmosphere. You just want to curl up on the couch with a good book.
I can see that. It sounds perfect for a bedroom or a living room.
Absolutely. It would also work really well in a home office if you want to create a more relaxed and inviting workspace.
I love that idea. I'm always looking for ways to make my home office feel less sterile.
A warm and inviting rug can definitely do that.
It seems like each rug in this collection really has its own distinct personality, but they all share that Asiatic Carpets DNA,
Totally. They all have that sophisticated yet approachable vibe, and they're all made with incredible attention to detail and craftsmanship.
Speaking of craftsmanship, let's talk a bit about how these rugs are made.
All right, so all of the Ascot collection rugs are hand-woven in India.
Hand-woven. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, they use traditional techniques that have been passed down through generations.
I bet that makes each rug truly unique.
It does. There are subtle variations in the color and texture of each rug, so you're getting something truly special.
That's what I love about handmade items. They have so much character.
And you can really feel the love and care that went into making them.
Okay, so we know they're hand-woven in India.
Yeah.
What about the materials? We talked about the wool and viscose blend, but is there anything else we should know?
Well, the blend is actually 65% wool and 35% viscose.
Interesting. So it's mostly wool.
Yeah, and that makes sense because wool is so durable and long-lasting.
Right. And it's also naturally stain resistant, which is a big plus for me.
Absolutely. And the viscose gives it that beautiful drape and sheen that I mentioned earlier.
It sounds like the perfect combination. So we've talked about the design, the craftsmanship, the materials.
Fair.
What about sizing? Are these rugs available in standard sizes?
Yes, they come in 3 standard sizes: 120 by 170 centimeters, 160 by 230 centimeters, and 200 by 290 centimeters.
Okay, so those are pretty standard rug sizes.
Yeah, they'll fit most spaces. But here's the cool part.
That's that?
They also offer custom sizes.
No way.
Huh.
So you can get a rug made to fit your exact space.
Yep. So if you have an unusually shaped room or you just want a rug that's perfectly tailored to your needs, you can get it custom made.
That's amazing. I love that they offer that option.
Me too. It really shows their commitment to quality and customer satisfaction. They want to make sure you're getting exactly what you want.
I have to say, I'm really impressed with this Ascot collection. It sounds like they've thought of everything.
They really have. It's a beautiful collection of rugs that's both stylish and functional.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We talked about the history of Asiatic carpets, the design of the Ascot collection, the materials, the craftsmanship, the sizing. What's one key takeaway you'd like our listeners to remember about this collection?
I think the key takeaway is that these rugs are more than just floor coverings. They're investments in your home. They add warmth, texture, and personality, and they're made to last, so you can enjoy them for years to come.
I love that. Investments in your home. It's so true. A rug can really transform a space.
Absolutely.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive into the world of the Ascot collection. I'm already picturing one of these gorgeous rugs in my own home.
Me too. They're truly special.
For our listeners who want to learn more about the Ascot collection and see these rugs for themselves, where should they go?
Head over to Tappeti.it. It's a fantastic online resource for all things rugs, and they have a beautiful selection of Asiatic carpets, including the entire Ascot collection.
Perfect. We'll make sure to include a link in the show notes, so
Yeah.
be sure to check it out. And in the meantime, what do you say we move on to part 2 of our deep dive and take a closer look at each of these rugs individually?
Sounds good to me. Let's do it. So yeah, the Ascot Sand, it's all about creating that warm and inviting atmosphere. Like a cozy hug.
I can definitely see that. It's giving me like very relaxed vibes.
Exactly. And it's so versatile. You could use it in a modern setting or a more traditional one.
Interesting. So how would you style it in, let's say, a modern living room?
Well, you could pair it with a sleek sofa, maybe in a light gray or white, and then add some pops of color with throw pillows and artwork.
And what about the texture? Is it similar to the Ascot Green?
Yes, the Ascot Sand also uses that blend of wool and viscose, so you get the same luxurious softness and sheen.
Okay, so it's soft and durable.
Yeah.
I like that. But what about the pattern? Is it geometric like the Ascot Green?
Actually, no. This one has a more organic pattern, almost like a striated design.
Striated, like stripes.
Kind of, but it's more subtle than that. It's like these very delicate variations in the color of the yarn.
Ooh, I see. So it's still a very textured rug, but in a more subtle way.
Exactly.
It's really amazing how each rug in this collection has such a distinct personality.
I know, right? And yet they all work so well together.
That's the sign of a truly great collection.
Absolutely.
So speaking of what makes these rugs so special, let's talk a bit more about the craftsmanship.
Yes. So as we mentioned earlier, all of the Ascot collection rugs are hand woven in India.
And they use traditional techniques, right?
Yep. Techniques that have been passed down through generations.
Wow, that's incredible. I can only imagine the skill and artistry that goes into creating these rugs.
Oh, it's truly amazing. Each rug is made on a loom, and the weavers use their hands to interlace the wool and viscose yarns.
So it's a very labor-intensive process.
It is. And that's why hand-woven rugs are so much more valuable than machine-made rugs.
I can see that. I mean, you're really getting a piece of art when you buy a hand-woven rug.
Exactly. And each one is unique. There are subtle variations in the color and texture that you won't find in a machine-made rug.
That's what I love about handmade items. They have so much character.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about the hand-woven process, but what about caring for these rugs? Are they high maintenance?
Not at all. Wool and viscose are both relatively easy to care for.
So you don't have to worry about spills and stains.
Well, you should always try to clean up spills as soon as possible, but for the most part, these rugs are pretty forgiving.
So what's the best way to clean them?
Regular vacuuming is key. Just make sure you use a vacuum with a good beater bar.
Okay, that makes sense. And what about if there's a stubborn stain?
You can try using a mild detergent solution, but always test it in an inconspicuous area first.
Good advice. I'm always afraid to use anything too harsh on my rugs.
Yeah, it's better to be safe than sorry.
Okay, so we know how to clean them.
Mm-hmm.
What about storage? Do you have any tips for storing these rugs if we need to?
Sure. The best way to store a rug is to roll it up with the pile facing inwards.
Pile facing inwards.
Yeah, so the back of the rug is facing outwards.
Okay, I get it. And then what?
Then you can wrap it in a breathable material like cotton or canvas.
And avoid plastic, right?
Yes, definitely avoid plastic. It can trap moisture and damage the rug.
Good to know. I'm always learning something new from you.
Happy to help.
All right, so we've talked about the design, the craftsmanship, the materials, the care. Is there anything else we should know about the Ascot collection before we move on?
I think we've covered pretty much everything. Yeah.
Oh, wait. I almost forgot. What about the sizes? I know you mentioned they come in standard sizes, but what if you need a rug that's a specific size?
Oh, that's right. I forgot to mention that they also offer custom sizes.
So if you have an unusually shaped room or you just want a rug that's perfectly tailored to your needs, you can get it custom made.
Exactly.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that they offer that option. It really speaks to their commitment to quality and customer satisfaction.
Agreed.
I think we've officially covered everything there is to know about the Ascot collection.
I think so too.
It's such a beautiful and versatile collection. I'm so glad we had a chance to deep dive into it today.
Me too.
So for our listeners who are now completely obsessed with these rugs like I am, where can they go to learn more and see the entire collection?
The best place to go is Tappeti.it. They have a beautiful website with tons of information about the Ascot collection and all of the other amazing rugs from Asiatic Carpets.
Perfect. We'll be sure to include a link in the show notes.
Yeah.
So definitely check it out. And in the meantime, where you said we take a quick break and then come back for part 3, where we'll do a deep dive into each of the individual rugs in the Ascot collection.
Sounds like a plan. All right, so ready to dive deeper into each of these Ascot rugs.
Let's do it. I'm especially curious to hear more about the Ascot Silver. You mentioned it has this, like, understated elegance.
Yeah, it's definitely the most minimalist of the 3. But that doesn't mean it's boring.
No, not at all. Minimalism can be so chic.
Exactly. And the Ascot Silver does it perfectly. It's got this sleek, refined look that's just so sophisticated.
And that silver gray color, so versatile.
Right. It can work in literally any space. You could pair it with bold colors, pastels, neutrals. That doesn't matter. It always looks amazing.
I love that. It's like the perfect blank canvas for your decor.
That's a great way to put it. And even though it's minimalist, it's still got a lot of depth and dimension. You know, those subtle accents of lighter and darker shades that we talked about?
Yeah, those details really elevate the design.
They do. They give it a really luxurious feel.
So if someone is looking for a rug that's elegant, sophisticated, and versatile, the Ascot Silver is a great option.
Absolutely. It's a classic choice that will never go out of style.
Okay, let's move on to the Ascot Green. This one is definitely the most bold of the 3.
It is, but it's still very balanced. You know, it's
Yeah.
not overwhelming.
I think it's that olive green color. It's
Yeah.
so rich and earthy, but not too bright.
Yeah, it's a really unique shade of green, and it works so well with the geometric pattern.
Oh, that pattern. So
Yeah.
cool. I love that it's a modern take on a classic design.
Me too. It's got a really nice flow to it. You know, it's not too rigid or symmetrical.
It's definitely got a more organic feel.
Exactly.
And the texture, that blend of wool and viscose is just divine.
It's so soft and plush, you just want to sink your feet into it.
I can imagine. So for our listeners who are looking for a rug that's a bit more statement making, the Ascot Green is a great choice.
Absolutely. It's a rug that will definitely add some personality to your space.
Okay, last but not least, let's talk about the Ascot Sand.
Ugh. The Ascot Sand. This one is all about warmth and coziness.
It's like a big warm hug for your feet.
I know, right? It's just so inviting.
And those beige and taupe tones are just so soothing.
They are. It's a very calming and grounding color palette.
I bet it would look amazing in a bedroom.
Oh, absolutely. It would create such a relaxing and peaceful atmosphere.
And I could also see it working well in a living room or even home office.
Definitely. It's a very versatile rug.
And I love that it has that subtle striated pattern. It adds just the right amount of texture.
It does. It's a really nice detail.
So if you're looking for a rug that will add warmth and coziness to your space, the Ascot Sand is the one for you.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, I think we've done it. We've officially deep dived into the entire Ascot collection.
We have.
And I have to say, I'm even more impressed with these rugs now that we've taken a closer look at each one.
Me too. They're truly special.
So for our listeners who are ready to add a touch of Ascot elegance to their own homes, where can they go to find these rugs?
Head over to Tappeti.it. They have the entire Ascot collection, as well as tons of other beautiful rugs from Asiatic Carpet.
Perfect. We'll be sure to include a link in the show notes, so be sure to check it out. And in the meantime, happy decorating, everyone.